Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, good morning, YouTube. Good morning. How the heck are you doing today? I'm hoping everybody had a dandy Christmas. Hope you have a good New Year. Have some good news for the the old show on the radio side of things. I think I might be spreading into a couple of other markets. So yeah. Hey, let's do a audio test. If you guys are chiming in here, let me hear and know everything's going all right for you here. I have to get some phone numbers ready to go here. Information. Well, this morning will be Marty Baxter. And Maddie Warren from Texas is going to be joining me as well. There she is. Get her information up here so I can give her a call in 30 minutes. So there you go. Let's see if we can get old Mikey Wagner hooked up here. Bada bang, bada boom. We good to go here. All right. Let me know if the audio's coming through. Let me know, stations, if you're hooked up here with me and all that good jazz. So we can get rolling and rocking and all that good stuff. Erlocker Angus sales coming up here. We have 21 Angus sale coming up. Smith's Saddle Butte Ranch coming up. Also, Schrieffer Red Angus are all bull sales coming up here that are on their way. That and a ton of other coyote tournaments. All kinds of good stuff here. Got you coming through. KGFX, good morning. Good to have you guys along here again this morning. And gonna make myself a run down to Pier sometime here in the near future. So if you guys got me coming through, hopefully the rest of them got me coming through too. Man, oh man. Coyote tournaments. Look at the stack of this thing. Got a few things going on, that's for sure. All right. 21 Angus. I'll be doing my show live from their sale barn at the ranch. So I hope that works out. Man, there's coyote tournaments going on today. Let's sort those out. Cattlemen's Club, prime rib. Waiting. That's a deal. That's a deal. I guarantee that. Haven't had a good prime rib in a long time. Most of the time, I'm always emceeing an event where they have prime rib, but I never eat at those events because it's my job is to MC the event, not sit down and eat. To round up, that's coming up. We got ice fishing tournament going on today. Let's see here. Those are bull sales. Got another youth coyote hunt today. That's going on in Long Valley. Hey, KGFX, if you're listening, how much are you guys getting hit with snow in that storm that's coming through? Because we're on the missing point of that here. Let me know. I don't know if they're going to have those tournaments here, if it's going to be that ugly out. Instantly. I like that. Hold on here. I'm just sorting through my last of the Januaries here. There. It just started snowing. Okay. I know you guys are in the path of getting kind of some heavy stuff that way. Hopefully it doesn't hit you too bad. Spot blocked up. Got your connection. Good. Mic's on. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to give Marty a call, get him looked up here, and we're going to get the show started. Stay with me. Hopefully he answers. Morning, Mikey. Good to have you on YouTube as well. Morning, Mr. Baxter. How are you? If I call you Baxter Black, be careful. Just taking some text messages here. Here, we're going to go on YouTube. Where it's going to be about 5 minutes before we're on radio, but we will be live on YouTube. Stand by. There we go. We're going to welcome Marty Baxter to my YouTube live event here. Morning, Marty.
Good morning.
Just got Long Valley Coyote Hunt has been postponed January 3rd through the 5th. Did I have that? That's what I was wondering.
Is it getting a blizzard up there?
Yeah, it's kind of coming through the central part and eastern part of South Dakota, and also North Dakota. Kind of that central to eastern part is what's supposed to get hit pretty hard, I guess. So, yeah. So this has been postponed here. This is a great one, though. It's a youth coyote tournament that's absolutely free. So
yeah,
I think it's a great idea to get kids involved in that. And get them out hunting, man.
They have one in Phillip.
Yep.
That's kids only.
Yep. That was this is based off of that format, I think, too. They had that one earlier, too, I believe. I think they brought that one back. So, yeah, I did not get a hold of your guy with the clamp system for coyote skinning there.
Okay.
I will get I mean, it's over Christmas and everything, and I didn't want to do that, so. But it sure sounds like a decent idea. I need to get something. Makes it simpler.
About, I don't know, 10 or 11 inches wide, and it's like two round bars with like one with the offset handle, and you drop the skirt in there, and it's got a little thing that falls over it, and so that catches it, and you just twist it on the whole skirt instead of a leg or a tail or something.
Right, that's exactly right. So you got to pull it down quite a little ways before you can get to that point, can't you?
Yeah, you got to get it started.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're going to go out all day today here. After I'm done here, I'm going to feed calves and cows, and this storm system that's coming through is not hitting, I never
thought of that.
It's not hitting us as hard with we're not supposed to get all the moisture where I'm living, but things are moving. Last night, all the deer, the elk, coyotes, everything was moving and grooving here because of that storm system coming through. So,
I bet.
So, yeah, it's definitely time to get out. Got here. I need a producer. I need somebody that wants to drive an hour and a half out in the middle of the Badlands and be my producer out here during this Saturday morning. Every Saturday morning out of their time.
I think it's pretty cool you can still do it out there.
I'm lucky, man. Lucky to have the internet I do.
Yeah.
I mean, so I found out yesterday. I sit on the board of directors for our local telecom business, so I mean, that does not hurt. Don't get me wrong. I'm in the latest, greatest information of what's happening. However, I found out, with my cow cam, so I have a access point to my house and one over on the corner of a shop with my camera, so I can watch heifers in springtime when I'm calving my heifers out. Well, I found out all I needed was two little pieces of equipment on the inside, and I can have full Wi-Fi inside my shop. So that's what I did last night. I hooked that baby up. So I'm pushing nearly 1 gig, not all 1 gig internet to my shop, but Now, if I have questions, I can just look you up on YouTube, and you can answer all the questions that you have all your videos posted.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I was reading a book last week called The Beaverman by Mari Sandos, and it's a kind of a historical book, kind of a storytelling history book, history of the fur trade in the United States and Canada.
That ought to be interesting.
A lot of it was centered right there in that neighborhood with the Hidatsas and the Mandans.
Yeah.
And it was basically centered in Hudson's Bay, and that's where the ill-fated NAFA just was. NAFA was the modern day. It was the evolution of the Hudson Bay Company. Been in business for 400 years, and those geniuses tanked it.
Hold on, stand by. We're going to start in 15 minutes here. Hold on. We'll talk about that when we come back here. Okay, stations, 10 seconds right there. 10, 9, 8. And we're on 5 seconds right there. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. You're listening on great stations all across the Missouri River Basin, like KFYR out of Bismarck, North Dakota, KGFX out of Pierre, South Dakota, KOLY out of Mobridge, South Dakota, covering 6 states, a couple Canadian provinces here, and, of course, you can always watch me on YouTube Live. I'm on there right now. You can watch it on Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio is my channel, and if you subscribe, it sure does help me, because you need like a ton of subscribers in order for me to do it remotely on my mobile device. So the more subscribers I get, the better chance I get to do remote reports, as technology allows that. But I need subscribers. Hey, a few things going on. I know there's a storm system. My folks, good friends down in the Pierre, South Dakota area, said that they're just getting snow started right now in that part of the state. There's a big storm rolling through. So I'm going to go through the tournaments that are up this weekend. And if some of them are postponed, I'm sure you know how to get a hold of those guys. Wild Walleye Ice Fever tournament's going on today. That's down in the Black Hills of South Dakota. My friend Kevin Vaughn is putting that on. The annual coyote hunt coming up today, the Teachers Lounge in Fortuna, North Dakota. I think that's one of the areas that just may get hit with some snow, but you know what? They're tough enough. The youth coyote hunt in Long Valley, South Dakota has been postponed to January 3rd through 5th. That was supposed to go on today, but let me tell you what, you get all those kids out there in a snowstorm, not a great idea. So they're postponing it to the first weekend here in January. Meadow Volunteer Fire Department annual coyote hunts coming up January 3rd and 4th. And the Enderlin Sheldon Wildlife Club coyote hunt is on January 4th. And I have a stack more here. So we'll try to get through most of those here today. But first, I want to welcome back to the program from Petska Fur. We have Mr. Marty Baxter. How you doing, Marty?
Good morning.
It is a good morning. You know, 2 things that you can be grateful for this morning?
What?
Your eyes. You got to open them up for one more time, man.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm being thankful for some rich, delicious coffee right now.
Hey, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you before I forget. Hope you had a great Christmas holiday. And I know a lot of people get offended when people say that, so I'm going to say it one more time. I hope you had a great Christmas.
My Christmas was awesome.
Good.
I got to go bow hunting the week before Christmas. I shot me a deer.
Good. How'd you do? A pretty good size one or what?
He's just a 2-year-old muley, but the first time I got to go hunting like a man in 12 years.
Did you spot and stalk them, or what happened here?
Kind of.
Good.
Kind of. I kind of knew where they were going. I kind of got in their way.
Yeah. I love
spotting with my recurve.
No way, recurve. Oh, nice.
And since I'm an old geezer and weak, it's a 45-pound recurve. Blew right through him.
So there's the argument a lot of bow hunters make is, or even non-bow. I have a one person. I'm not going to say who it is. They despise that I bow hunt because they feel that the arrow has no chance of going through and through and making an ethical kill. It's just going to stick in them, and the animal is going to run around with an arrow sticking out of them. But then you get the bow hunter side. They're like, well, you got to pull at least 75 pounds in order to get that arrow to go through. I'm only pulling 62 in my compound bow. I gave up on recurve because I was terrible at it.
Yeah. No, that's all uninformed opinions.
Yeah. Yeah.
People, we wouldn't be here. We evolved from the Michael Jordans of hunting and fishing just by the fact that we're here is proof of that. And they used 40, 30, 40 pound bows.
Well, what did Fred Bear pull? I think it was like 40 to 45 pounds on his bow too, wasn't it?
I don't know. It's been so long. I have Alzheimer's, and when I've read all those books, I forgot.
Well, you said you were reading a book about the fur trade of America, and it started kind of up in my neck of the woods here in the 3 affiliated tribes areas. And that's why everybody's after our coyotes, I guess, is we still have good fur in this area.
That's right.
Whoa.
It's a good area for fur.
Good stuff, good people. And how's the fur prices been holding up? I see some new...
Coyotes are great.
Yeah.
Coyotes are great. Everything else is struggling, a challenge.
When you say everything else, like what?
Every other fur bearer.
Beavers?
You have good coyotes.
Yeah.
Good coyotes are worth anywhere from $0 to $150, and the whole rest of the world is worth probably 0 to 10. On the rest of the fur bearers.
So no more fox, no more beaver, no more raccoon, no badgers, mink, weasels, any of that stuff. It's just not happening anymore, is it?
Just for some reason, the demand is not there supporting the prices.
That surprised me about beaver, though. I thought beaver would be one of those furs that would stick with it for a little bit longer because, golly, that's some. I mean, I'm sure you had put on a pair of beaver mittens. Those things are nice, man. I mean, they are really nice.
Super nice. So, like everything you make out of beaver is super nice.
Yeah.
It's really luxurious. It makes you want to stick your hands in. It's just nice.
So how about even like the old beaver cowboy hats and everything like that? Just no price in that either for those, or what?
Just not enough to support. Just not enough demand for whatever reason. So I think the actual stuff they sell beavers for now, that's all they do with them is they sell them as hatters, which is what they typically did with the poorer ones was to sell them to the felting industry for making hats or felt or whatever they needed it for. Yeah. And now that's what they all go to, the good ones, the bad ones, the really nice ones, the super nice ones. They're still furriers, use those.
Yeah.
And but that's not enough to support an entire industry.
I guess it's depending on where you're at. Up in Alaska, those furriers up there, I mean, they're definitely using that. If you go into one of those stores, you can have your choice of whatever you want to wear for animal fur, but that's because of the climate. I mean, when you live in a climate that's 30, 40 below ambient temperature for days on end, that probably has a little bit to do with it, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you get over your nonsense of being against fur.
Yeah, they're definitely pro fur in that neck of the woods. I'm sure Canada has that same issue too. Now, one thing that we haven't talked about here is wolves. Is there anybody that, I mean, is that a fur market that people are into? Is that, we can't talk about shooting wolves? I mean, are people still all in a panties in a bunch about that too, or what?
The recently gone under NAFA, the international auction there in Toronto. They always sold the off-ball stuff, and there's still markets for wolverines and bears and wolves. And I think last year they averaged $125 on wolf pelts last year.
Okay. Which is same price as a coyote going for. That blows my mind.
I think the guys in Alberta would get a higher average for their coyotes than they would for their wolves, but I don't know.
Really? Oh.
I'm probably speaking out of turn there. It could happen, though.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to continue the conversation here. Marty will be back here after these messages coming up. Just a reminder, Little's Bar and Grill in Pick City today. Their pheasant tournament is today. I have that flyer, Darren. I appreciate you reminding me here, but I know it's coming up, and it is this weekend here. Also, the Erlacher Angus sale coming up January 17th, Bowman Auction Market. Make sure you join me at that sale. Coming up that way too. More with Marty Baxter from Petska Fur, and we're going to be talking about prices, routes, and all that good stuff. If you missed them on the first half of the year, we're going to pick it up again here after the New Year's. We'll be back with more Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition, KFYR, KOLY, and KGFX. Cattle producers, if size, maturity, and reliability matter to you, make sure to be in the stands for the Urlacher Angus annual bull sale Friday, January 17th at the Bowman Auction Market, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. 62 two-year-old bulls are up for offer, with sires like HA Cowboy Up 5405, Mock Bullseye, Midi Natural, WCF Payout 6240, and many others. You can find them on Facebook at Urlacher Angus and Sales. The Urlacher Angus annual bull sale Friday, January 17th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Bowman Auction Market, Bowman, North Dakota.
As a leader in farm and ranch insurance in North Dakota, Dakota Community Insurance understands the importance of protecting all aspects of your operation, no matter how large or small. Your Dakota Community Insurance agent can customize an insurance package to cover your farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. For more information, call your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or visit dakotacommunitybank.com.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auction Company, and from all of us at Piper's Auction Realty and Land Management, we wish all of you a safe and merry holiday season and a prosperous new year. Piper's 2020 equipment auctions will bring exciting opportunities for the new year, including premier farm retirement auctions in New England, Martin, Harvey, Sharon, Churches Ferry, Jamestown, Rowlett, Tuttle, Bowman, and Steele, and also in Starbuck, Minnesota. To book your land or equipment auctions, contact Piper's today. Full equipment inventories and all of our Piper's 2020 land and lease auction listings are available at pipers.com.
25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, and we're celebrating. Plan to attend the annual meeting February 14th and 15th at Four Bears Casino and Lodge. You'll be entertained by Deuce's Wild dueling pianos on Valentine's Day. Red Stiegel, the featured guest speaker, and he and his boys in the bunkhouse perform Saturday the 15th. There's dummy roping for the young cowboys and cowgirls, food auctions, and more. Get tickets now at NorthDakotaCowboy.com. Reserve your room at Four Bears. 25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. Come ride with us into the future, proudly honoring and preserving our past.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com. Mandan Sporting Goods has a complete line of AKs and AR-15s in stock right now. Make sure you don't miss out on your chance before they're all gone. Mandan Sporting Goods also has a limited variety of .223 ammunition, plenty of 7.62 by 39 ammo, and other hard-to-find ammunition in stock. Go to the place that treats you right and keeps the shelves filled. It's Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. The Urlacher Angus annual bull sale is coming up on Friday, January 17th at the Bowman Auction Market, 1 p.m. Why do cattle producers stick with two-year-old bulls? Well, it's simple. You got power, you have potency, maturity, reliability. You also have bulls that are going to cover more ground in females than their yearling counterparts. Also, Greg and Mary offer a 90-day breeding season guarantee, free delivery, and free keep until May of 2020. For more information, find them on Facebook at Urlacher Angus and Sales. Urlacher Angus annual bull sale, Friday, January 17th, 1 p.m. at the Bowman Auction Market.
As a leader in farm and ranch insurance in North Dakota, Dakota Community Insurance understands the importance of protecting all aspects of your operation, no matter how large or small. Your Dakota Community Insurance agent can customize an insurance package to cover your farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. For more information, call your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or visit dakotacommunitybank.com.
25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, and we're celebrating. Plan to attend the annual meeting February 14th and 15th at Four Bears Casino and Lodge. You'll be entertained by Deuce's Wild dueling pianos on Valentine's Day. Red Stiegel, the featured guest speaker, and he and his boys in the bunkhouse perform Saturday the 15th. There's dummy roping for the young cowboys and cowgirls, food auctions, and more. Get tickets now at NorthDakotaCowboy.com. Reserve your room at Four Bears. 25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. Come ride with us into the future, proudly honoring and preserving our past.
All right, station's coming back here in 10 seconds on mark. 5, 4, 3. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues. Make sure you check out my daily show on all three of these radio stations, plus many, many more. And if you miss it there, you can catch it at DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com. Hey, just a reminder, 21 Angus Ranch Top Cut Bull Sale. This is their 26th annual, and you want to talk about last year being a barn burner. This one's shaping up to be just the same, or if not better. It's coming up Saturday, January 25th at the heated facility right there at the ranch in New England, North Dakota. Lunch at 11. Sale starts at 1 o'clock. 156 top cut bulls. That's 21 Angus Ranch coming up in January 25th at their ranch. Also, the Smith's Saddle Butte Ranch annual bull sale is coming up on February 15th. This one's going to be held at the Bowman Auction Market. I tell you what, these guys are halfway between Harding, Buffalo, and Camp Crook, South Dakota. And they have just an awesome set of bulls. If you want more information there, give Travis or Rebecca Smith a call out of that Buffalo, South Dakota area. Well, Marty Baxter is my guest here from Petska Fur. Marty, during the break, we were talking about silly things like in Nebraska, you guys, if you see, now you're close to Oklahoma, you're close to Texas. You got to have wild hogs in Nebraska, don't you?
They gotta eat every day. And once you get to winter around here in the state, unless they want to be grazers or browsers, it's hard to find make it for them to make a living. So
yeah.
We've had isolated herds.
Sure.
And the game and parks have brought in choppers and tried their best to eradicate them. And but it's just too nasty in winters to do much for them.
But here's what I've been told. So the Russian boar, that the wild boars, when they were brought over to America, this was told to me by a gentleman in Texas. I actually paid to go down to his ranch and shoot wild boars. And he says when you get the Russian wild boar genetics in there, they can weather any weather that happens, or any cold or whatever. So that's the kinds that kind of worry me a little bit here. So
they gotta have some food, and there's nothing more desolate than a cornfield with proper weed control in the winter.
You gotta have food
there.
in Nebraska.
That's why we don't.
Come on now.
There's no food for them. What are they going to eat in the wintertime? You can't eat rocks.
If Trent Luce can raise hogs in Nebraska, everybody can survive, I think.
Yeah, he actually feeds them. He actually gives them carbohydrates and fats and calories in the winter.
Oh, man. I tell you. Well, let's talk about your routes here. I don't even have this pulled up here on my screen here, but you're covering it. Let's start. We got audiences. Well, we got audiences in Pierre, Mobridge, Bismarck, and we spread throughout 6 states. So let's start as you're coming up from Nebraska and you hit the South Dakota border. What type of routes and places are you hitting here, so we can kind of get an idea when where to go, what to look for here?
I start in South. Well, Greg starts. Greg runs that route nowadays.
Sure.
But starts in just off a Highway 83 at Highmore, and goes up Highmore and hits goes up 83 all the way to Bismarck, and hits just about every little town on the way through there. And they'll be coming through again on January 10th through the 13th, and then the next day he loops up from Bismarck up to Minot, and then out west to Plentywood, and hooks back into Williston. And then the next day he hooks back out to eastern Montana and out to Wolf Point, and then down to Circle and back over to Glendive by Beach, and Belfield and ends up in Dickinson. And then the next day he goes south and he goes out, leaves through Hettinger, Lemon, Phillip, Faith, Kadoka, Martin, and then he points a truck towards the barn and hauls for home so he can get the next day and go somewhere else.
In that one entire route, roughly how many coyotes, just on average, would you say that he's got packed in that trailer?
It all depends it all depends. Sometimes you're like, what am I doing? Where's everybody at? Didn't they kill any this week? And other times you're like, well, I have no more space.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was at the coyote calling contest in Dickinson. What was Jamie's? What was that one called?
That's the end of the year wrap up one for Coyote Hunter.
Yeah. We got there one time with no space. Bought 300 at that, or maybe it's 150. I got all time.
The Coyote Classic is what they call that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then by the next day, I was tying them on with wire because the slope of the coyote slope, the slump, they were maximized in the middle and they was sliding off. So
wow.
Then the boys came up from Ord and brought a rescue trailer and met me in Lemon and took most of it. And then by the time I got past the next stop, it was full again.
Wow.
And you just waddling home, creaking and groaning, trying to watch your rearview mirror so you can see if something's going wrong with the tire or an axle. Yeah. And then other days you'll drive around and you'll have 10 of them in there. And like, what am I doing?
So, yeah, a lot of gas money for 10 coyotes. Yeah. Well, you got a lot of. It seems like competition sprouts up all over the place when the prices are high, doesn't it? I mean.
Well, you've probably noticed it when you're trying to call them, haven't you? I mean, they've been the campaign has been started on them since September, and just in my narrow-minded world, I've been aware of people starting on them in September. And
now people say that it's my fault because I'm the one that has you on the radio talking about this. They say that it's my
it
fault
happened without us. It would happen without us.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, I tell you, when you're, snaring's opened up here since after our deer season, after the middle of November, and Jamie sent me a whole bunch of snares, so I have a lot of snares in around my river area, and haven't had much luck, and the reason is, and I don't know if I'm okay or not, because we had all of our snow kind of melted down nicely. And I'm okay with that because the winter grazing in my pasture is phenomenal, and I don't have to start feeding cows for a while yet.
Nice.
It's a little harder to, funnel coyotes into a fence line snare or a trail snare when you can pretty much walk anywhere. So
yeah, if they got snow, they can get up on and go anywhere. But it also does show where it does show where it funnels them down to, where they all pinches in, shows pinch points that are easier.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I just need to get out there and, I don't know, put more in. He only sent me 160 of them, so I think that's enough right now.
Yeah, if you caught 160, you'd be busy. You'd have to start skinning.
I have been. My buddy John has taught me how to green skin coyotes. Now I am learning.
There you go.
So
while you're talking about that, let me interrupt.
Yeah.
And tell people that once you have your coyote green skinned, if you're not stretching it and fleshing it and drying it, do not, and I repeat, in the strongest language possible, roll them up and put them in a bag and stick them in the freezer.
No.
The insides insulate. That coyote fur is awesome, and it insulates the inside of that roll. And I can't tell you the number of horror stories we've had when guys have broke out their treasured coyote pelts that they've been diligently and hard work earning and saving all season, and they pull them out of the bags and that metal is slipping and rotting. So if you're gonna save them in the freezer, lay them flat like they look like they were on a stretcher. If you need space, tuck the head and the tail under, and you don't even have to thaw them out if you're going to see the fur buyer. He can see everything he needs to see. Throws them flat, and if you want to put them back in the freezer, you can put them back in the freezer. So, never roll them and stick them in bags.
That's what I've been doing. They're flat in the freezer. There's this dedicated freezer just for these, and they are flat. It's stretched out as best I can.
Good man.
And the front shoulder arms are folded out so that everything is frozen pretty nicely on them right now. But
and if you're selling them on the carcass, hang them by both back legs. Both back legs.
You bet.
Then they all fit in the trailer like the sardines in a can and makes everybody's job easier. Plus, it gives you the added benefit of it makes smaller ones look bigger.
That's right.
If that fur flops down a little bit and freezes that way, it looks fluffier, and they're dry and they get the air around them and keep them out of the sun. Both back legs out of the sun. Your averages will, if you measured your averages versus putting them in a snowbank or the shop floor or something, they would be noticeably better averages.
Well, Marty, we're
look a lot better.
We're up against the clock here, so thanks for coming on here. Petska Fur, you can go to petskafur.net for more information. We'll be back right after these messages. Cattle producers, if size, maturity, and reliability matter to you, make sure to be in the stands for the Urlacher Angus annual bull sale Friday, January 17th at the Bowman Auction Market, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. 62 two-year-old bulls are up for offer, with sires like HA Cowboy Up 5405, Mock Bullseye, Midi Natural, WCF Payout 6240, and many others. You can find them on Facebook at Urlacher Angus in Sales. The Urlacher Angus Annual Bull Sale, Friday, January 17th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Bowman Auction Market, Bowman, North Dakota.
As a leader in farm and ranch insurance in North Dakota, Dakota Community Insurance understands the importance of protecting all aspects of your operation, no matter how large or small. Your Dakota Community Insurance agent can customize an insurance package to cover your farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. For more information, call your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or visit dakotacommunitybank.com.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auction Company, and from all of us at Piper's Auction Realty and Land Management, we wish all of you a safe and merry holiday season and a prosperous new year. Piper's 2020 equipment auctions will bring exciting opportunities for the new year, including premier farm retirement auctions in New England, Martin, Harvey, Sharon, Churches Ferry, Jamestown, Rowlett, Tuttle, Bowman, and Steele, and also in Starbuck, Minnesota. To book your land or equipment auctions, contact Piper's today. Full equipment inventories and all of our Piper's 2020 land and lease auction listings are available at pipers.com.
25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, and we're celebrating. Plan to attend the annual meeting February 14th and 15th at Four Bears Casino and Lodge. You'll be entertained by Deuce's Wild dueling pianos on Valentine's Day. Red Stiegel, the featured guest speaker, and he and his boys in the bunkhouse perform Saturday the 15th. There's dummy roping for the young cowboys and cowgirls, food auctions, and more. Get tickets now at NorthDakotaCowboy.com. Reserve your room at Four Bears. 25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. Come ride with us into the future, proudly honoring and preserving our past.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com. Mandan Sporting Goods has a complete line of AKs and AR-15s in stock right now. Make sure you don't miss out on your chance before they're all gone. Mandan Sporting Goods also has a limited variety of .223 ammunition, plenty of 7.62x39 ammo, and other hard-to-find ammunition in stock. Go to the place that treats you right and keeps the shelves filled. It's Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. The Urlacher Angus Annual Bull Sale is coming up on Friday, January 17th at the Bowman Auction Market, 1 p.m. Why do cattle producers stick with two-year-old bulls? Well, it's simple. You got power, you have potency, maturity, reliability. You also have bulls that are going to cover more ground in females than their yearling counterparts. Also, Greg and Mary offer a 90-day breeding season guarantee, free delivery, and free keep until May of 2020. For more information, find them on Facebook at Urlacher Angus in Sales. Urlacher Angus Annual Bull Sale, Friday, January 17th, 1 p.m. at the Bowman Auction Market.
As a leader in farm and ranch insurance in North Dakota, Dakota Community Insurance understands the importance of protecting all aspects of your operation, no matter how large or small. Your Dakota Community Insurance agent can customize an insurance package to cover your farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. For more information, call your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust or visit dakotacommunitybank.com.
25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, and we're celebrating. Plan to attend the annual meeting February 14th and 15th at Four Bears Casino and Lodge. You'll be entertained by Deuce's Wild dueling pianos on Valentine's Day. Red Stiegel, the featured guest speaker, and he and his boys in the bunkhouse perform Saturday the 15th. There's dummy roping for the young cowboys and cowgirls, food auctions, and more. Get tickets now at NorthDakotaCowboy.com. Reserve your room at Four Bears. 25 years of the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame. Come ride with us into the future, proudly honoring and preserving our past.
All right, stations, 15 seconds, and we're going to do a 10-second check mark right now. 10 seconds to start. Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues here across the great states of North and South Dakota and 6 other states as well here. We have KFYR in Bismarck, KOLY Mobridge. We have KGFX in Pierre, South Dakota. YouTube Live. We're streaming right now. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio is my channel. Please go and subscribe and share that with as many people as you can here. And you can also watch the shows afterwards on YouTube because they're automatically uploaded. My daily program can be found at dakotaprairieoutdoors.com, and I'm just honored here to start out to finish out my year and start a new year talking to Matti Warren from the High Road out of Texas here. How are you doing, Miss Warren?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
You know, I just thought this is the last time. Well, probably not. I might have you on before your wedding, but one of the last times I get to call you Miss Warren. Unless
I'll always be a Warren at heart.
Okay. I was going to say, unless you're not going to take Ryan's last name, then I'm going to make fun of him in February a little bit for that. So,
yeah, I'm too traditional for my own good. I will take on Hackett instead of Warren.
All right. Well, all right. How have you been, young lady? It's been a while since I talked to you. How have you and your dad been holding up through the hunting seasons?
Oh, we've been great. We've had a lot of hunters at the ranch, a lot of big deer taken down. They weighed a lot this year. I mean, we have a good supplemental feed program at the ranch, and we had bucks that weighed 220 to 40 pounds, which is huge for Texas.
Yeah.
So it's been good. We didn't do a lot of hunting ourselves because I was lucky enough to go on my first trip to Africa this summer. And we knocked out a ton of shows there, which that was something I never thought I'd be lucky enough to do. So that was pretty cool.
So when you go, well, first off, if people want to call in and talk to you here, 888-9-DAKOTA, that's 888-932-5682. If somebody wants to call in question here. Also, tell me about Africa. If somebody, because I've been auctioning a few of these benefits this fall, and almost every one of them has some type of an African hunt. A lot of things aren't explained. One thing, how do you get your, do you have to take your own weapons over, and what kind of process is that to ship over your rifles or whatever you're using for firearms?
Well, every single country is different, and my advice is most outfitters have firearms. I would just use theirs.
Really?
They're
Okay.
decked out with suppressors and everything. They're really nice rifles, and it just makes the traveling process so much easier because we did bring our own rifles. We brought a 50 BMG and an air rifle, which made traveling very interesting because when the police there opened up the case and saw this giant bazooka looking 50 BMG, their eyes got so wide. But I would recommend using the outfitters rifles.
Yeah, okay. And is that an extra cost then? I'm sure it is.
It depends on the place. I think the place we go, it's not an extra cost. You just have to let them know in advance. And if you do want to bring your own rifle, each outfitter, if it's in South Africa or Botswana, they'll walk you through the process of how to do that legally.
Okay. Now, once you get over there, is some of these packages say that you can take up to 4 plains animals or whatever they say, but not including trophy feet. Okay. Now, once you get over there, is some of these packages say that you can take up to 4 plains animals or whatever they say, but not including trophy fee. What exactly is that trophy fee, and roughly what are the costs on some of the basic animals that you might see?
Oh, yikes. The trophy fees will be, it's different everywhere. It's going to be probably per inch, kind of like whitetail. A lot of trophy whitetail places, you can shoot up to 190 inches for $7,000, and then it'll be an extra tacked on fee per inch. It's similar to that in Africa, which I was so green in Africa. Like half the animals, I couldn't tell you what they were. So they were like, that's a giant one. And I'm looking at it right next to another one, and it looks the exact same. I'd be happy with anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, there's management hunts, which are cheaper. Really, the most expensive part of hunting in Africa is getting there.
Is it really? So from Texas, where'd you fly? Which airports did you hit all the way over there?
So we flew from San Antonio to Atlanta straight to Johannesburg, which was a long flight.
Yeah.
I mean, really long, like 15 hours. And then Johannesburg to East London. So it took 2 whole days to get there.
Let's see here. I got a text message here from Levi. He's a big type of he loves hunting deer, man. I mean, this guy just loves everything there is to know about it. He said, ask Miss Warren about their supplemental program from deer. And, he's, we don't have a lot of deer farms up this way. There's a couple of them, but I think he's meaning what kind of supplements are you throwing out there for deer that possibly would work just for like out in the, in the pasture type of deer too.
Okay. So we've got a lot of different products we use. We use everything from Record Rack. We've got protein out year round, which is something that I think would also be beneficial if you've got a low fence pasture too. That's something that, it costs money, but it's not ridiculous. We've got a couple other products we use, which are great on deer farms, like Buck Developer. It's just really rich in nutrients and fat, but I don't know if that would be wise if you've got a low fence pasture and you can't really guarantee that it's going to benefit your deer. We got corn too, and we started putting out alfalfa, which I think the deer love it. And it's different. It's roughage. I think it's good for their system.
And it's also pretty good in protein too. I mean, when you're looking at a protein package, alfalfa, especially the way you guys put it up down that way, is pretty good. We have alfalfa fields that you can guarantee to see deer in there early in the morning and late in the evening too. So they're up in this neck of the woods. They are getting the alfalfa part, but when it comes to that extra supplements, there's certain mineral packages a lot of people put out. There's how many companies that sell minerals for deer right now. I mean, there's just a ton of them.
Yeah, there really are. Just putting out blocks even is great, but every state is different with those laws too. Like Texas, if you don't bait or have a feeder, you're not going to see a deer, and there's nothing for them to eat here. We don't have food plots. We've got oak trees and acorns. That's about it.
And a lot of mesquite trees and cedar trees and everything else too. I mean, the few times I was down there, of course I was in the hill country, but man, you're right. You can't see anything unless you clear out some trees. What do they call them? Senderos or whatever they call them?
Yeah. So you have little clearings so you can see the deer at least when they're passing through. It's hard to hunt in Texas if you don't have a feeder, just because one, the deer are tiny. Like you're going to get hardly no meat because they're like the size of Labradors. They don't have any nutrients. And then you're not going to see them because they're the only place you'd be able to see them is maybe going to water.
Yeah, I suppose.
So,
head in the water. So you didn't do any antelope hunting or nothing this year here in the States?
Oh, I did do antelope hunting. I have to do antelope hunting every year.
So how did that go? Where'd you go? Wyoming again?
Yes, we stay in Montana and it's like right on the border, but we hunted in Wyoming. And that's just like, that's a whole different game for me. Being from Texas, you don't see antelope anywhere, and it's wide open country. That just really gets my heart going.
Yeah. Well, and you also are taking longer shots because of that wide open country. And, speed goats are one of those animals where they're pretty spooky animals too.
Yeah. Then they vanish. Like you'll see one and you'll come up over a knob and think you're going to see it. And there's literally miles of open country and they vanish.
So did you bow hunt them or rifle hunt them?
No, I rifle hunted. I would love to bow hunt one. That's on my bucket list.
Oh, you better have a lot of patience.
Yeah, my dad's done it a couple times. He said just sit over a watering hole, and the same thing. It's hot when you're doing it, and you're just sitting there eating Oreos down in water.
Oreos? I never thought of that. Yeah. It's I have some buddies that have a show up this way, and they'll sit 13, 14 hours straight at a water hole all day long before something will come in. So I mean, you have to have a lot of patience, and let me tell you, you might want to have a few empty Gatorade bottles with you too.
Well, I don't think it works that way for me.
Well, in a sense, I mean, a person could try. I don't know, but yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of time. Maybe I could master it.
So what are you guys doing for the winter time? First off, you said that you're already, it's 70 degrees in Texas this morning. I think I'll check my temperature here just to give you an official temperature, what it's like here in the Badlands of North Dakota. I lied to you. It's 18 degrees.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Which is nice. I'm taking that. When we're at 18, the mid 20s, I'll take that all winter long.
I don't know how y'all do that.
Well, that's why our skin looks like leather. But we don't understand how you guys can take 100 and some degrees all the time either.
I love it. I can't handle the cold. My brother just got stationed up in Alaska, and it's negative 26 today.
Yeah. How does he like that?
He's adjusting. He said you walk outside and instantly your nostrils are like frozen. Like the hairs. This is a lot of information, people, but I'm sure y'all up north can empathize with it. He's just like gone into shock about it.
Yeah, we know what that feels like on certain days here in the Dakota Territory as well. There's a big storm rolling through the central and eastern parts of North and South Dakota right now. It's starting to hit. So they're ready for some more snow. We're talking like 18 to 20 some inches they're expecting in some areas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So when you're talking about feeding cows, when you go out and feed your cows some hay, you don't have to put up with 2-3 foot snowbanks to get there.
No.
So you should
literally drive the tractor out and dump it.
In your tank top, in your flip flops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. John Polcheski, you remember him?
Oh yes.
He
I
says,
remember old John.
Are you ready for us in February?
I've been planning for it for a while. I think I'm mentally prepared. That's the most exciting part of the whole wedding. Y'all coming down.
Yeah, well, we're gonna, and that's a rare thing for us to take. Mid-February, we're feeding cattle heavily, and he's got a lot more in the feedlot than I do. So, that's pretty rare that we do that. So we're heading down that way. We're gonna join in on the wedding if we're still welcome. If not, we're gonna be there anyway. We're gonna be the wedding crashers.
No, it's gonna be a blast. Are y'all gonna hunt while you're down here at all?
We would love to. I didn't want to bug you about trying to see if that's possible, if we can do that or not. But if there is a chance for me to shoot some hogs, I would love to do that.
Okay. I'll send you a couple of my buddies' numbers.
Okay.
Something that's fun too, and I don't know if you've ever done it, is West Texas, where there's javelinas and mule deer and stuff. I know y'all got mule deer up there, but the javelinas are a lot of fun.
No, I haven't never done javelina because that's a different tag. That's for a non-resident. I think it's a little harder to get that javelina tag.
Well, you can buy it over the counter, and I'm not sure what the price is, but I'm sure it's more than just buying the hunting license so you can go shoot pigs.
Yeah. I think that for a non-resident, for me to go down and shoot hogs was $48 is all it was.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
No,
but javelinas are technically a game animal. You can only shoot 2 a year.
Okay. Say, North Dakota it's illegal if we spot wild hogs up here. It's illegal for us to shoot them. What's the take for somebody that has them infiltrated in Texas? And I mean, there's articles I've seen on even the USDA reports on the national side saying that Texas is losing the battle against wild hogs. So is it that bad? I mean, are they really that?
Oh my gosh.
Really?
It's terrible. It is horrible. We'll go out, and my dad and I are pretty good shots. A lot of people that go out and do these night vision pig hunts, I'm not tooting my own horn or anything, but we've done it so many times that we've really mastered it, because thermal is tricky to use. You don't have great depth perception. Like, once you shoot one, a lot of people just start letting bullets fly and they're not being very accurate, but we could kill 30 or 40 pigs in a night. So we're fighting hard, and we're still losing the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I do real estate as well, farm and ranch real estate, and I'll go show some ranches, and the hogs are so bad that you cannot drive across the property. They've rooted it up so bad.
Really?
Oh yeah, the property values just plummet.
My
county.
Some people say that, they make it hard in Texas because everybody wants money to go and shoot hogs. And, they got to replace some. It's just no different than prairie dogs up in my place,
Right.
They take a whole section of grass away from you. It kind of hurts into your bottom pocket of grazing your cattle a little bit. Hogs do the same thing, only they're doing it in a different version, I guess you could say.
Yeah, they do the same thing. It's just a different size, I guess, literally. But it's also a huge liability for someone to open their gates where they've got cows and they've got deer and let people just have free range shooting pigs. It's you've got to give some money to counteract the damage that the pigs have done. And also it is capitalism. People are going to try to make money where they can make money, but it's not so much about that. It's just getting rid of the hogs. They're everywhere, and they do helicopter hog hunts. I'll have buddies post pictures on Facebook, and they'll kill 100 pigs in a day out of a helicopter, and it's not doing anything. So I can't believe that North Dakota is trying to say if you see a pig, you can't shoot it. Would they not learn from every state down south?
Well, they're worried that it might be a domesticated pig is what they're worried about. So,
well, it's a pig. It'll get eaten.
Well, I know. I agree with you here. Text message comes in. We're up to, we only got a few minutes left here. Won't be long, and North Dakota will be the same way. 10 to 15 piglets per litter. Won't take long for them to start causing trouble. And that is true. And the piglets, from what I remember reading up on wild hogs, is once they're, 2 to 3 months, they can start reproducing?
No, they can reproduce very fast, and the gestation period is 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. And they instantly, like as soon as they pop them out, they get another batch in them.
Just
they're disgusting.
Is reproducing machines is what they are.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it never comes to that point up in this area because I don't know, would the wild hogs eat all my prairie dogs?
They actually probably would. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the pictures on game cameras of hogs with fawns in their mouths, but I could see them eating prairie dogs. That might be kind of cool.
We might need to do a little. How about this? How about I live trap some, bring them down for your wedding, and just let some prairie dogs out for you?
And I'd be happy for the first couple weeks, but then I think I'd be a little pissed when they ruin my land.
Isn't that the truth? Oh man. Hey, as a lady in hunting, what's the latest, greatest for women clothing wise? Because not a lot of hunting clothing up in the Dakota territory is really made for the ladies. What have you been using, and what fits right for some of that activity?
Okay, so I have only ever had hand-me-down camo, and I just recently got like the first camo I've had that is made for women, and it's awesome. It's called Girls with Guns clothing. The pattern is actually pretty light, so it would do well, I think, in North Dakota. And if y'all want to go on my Facebook page, it's just Maddie Warren. My parents spelt it a little weird. It's Matti instead of DDI. But they have these bibs, and they zip like the butt portion. You can unzip it without having to take everything off to go to the bathroom. And that, to me, is the coolest product I think I've ever seen in 25 years in the industry.
I think they had those back in the olden days, and their pajamas, their night pajamas, had the same type of flapper system on the back. Yeah.
Well, it's very innovative for me. I love it.
Girls with Guns. I seen that on, Camo Fire. I've seen some of that. But most of them were like leggings and everything, but they actually make camouflage hunting equipment too, don't they? Or clothing, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got like a concealed carry line and like everyday clothes, but their camo is what I've been wearing because it's very lightweight and it's not noisy, and it's so hot down in Texas that I can wear it. It's long sleeved. It covers my arms and everything, but I'm not sweating buckets.
Yeah.
So.
Do they make anything with insulated stuff for those of us here on the north side of the country?
Yes, they've got plenty of insulated gear. They actually just sent me down a set, and it's those bibs that have the zipper on them, and then they've got a really thick down jacket, which is nice. It's very comfortable. It's got a lot of pockets. I've been happy with it, but I've only been able to test that stuff out when I'm up north, which hasn't been a whole lot this year.
No. So. You gotta bring your new husband up here right after you. That's it. Your honeymoon could be up here shooting coyotes in February.
Well, the prairie dogs aren't out, so I don't know.
That's what I said. Coyotes. Well, prairie dogs do come out in the wintertime. They do. It's got to be sunny out, but they do show up once in a while. Yeah.
I'd like to shoot a prairie dog in the snow. That'd be a beautiful sight.
It would be.
Splatter. I sound like a psycho. I really enjoy hunting prairie dogs, and we don't have snow here, so.
Best of both worlds, prairie dogs and snow. We could line that up for you. I
Sounds
don't
like
think,
a hell of a honeymoon.
You said he sounds like a psycho, but most of the people listening to my program have the same passion for shooting. If they've ever been prairie dog shooting, they know exactly how much fun it is. And the question becomes, why would anybody need more than why would you need a 10-round clip? Well, you got to go shoot prairie dogs. I think that's the reason why.
Right. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Just go do it and you'll realize.
Yeah. Well, Matti, we're up against the end of the program. Hold on to the phone system for a little bit longer. I'll talk to you a little bit afterwards. Get some information about Tessa Palcheski. She said she's totally going to check out Girls for Guns clothing. There you go.
Oh, she would love it.
Yeah.
She's got the same issues I have.
All right. Matti, thanks for coming on the program. Thanks for tuning in here to Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition on KFYR, KOLY, and KGFX. Also, all my YouTube watching audience here on YouTube Live, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Have yourself a great week and Happy New Year. Tell you what. All right. We're done with the radio side of things. We're still live on YouTube, Matti. So there you go.
Well, yay. That was so fun.
It is fun. I appreciate that. So is there any place close around where your wedding stuff is going to be happening where we can shoot hogs?
Yes. There's well, I don't know if this is quite y'all's